Oh, beginning camera shot, right? Alright. Hello, good morning. Today, I'll be talking about the history of Bak Kut Teh, the trade of it in Malaysia, and how it started. So, let's get now. Bak Kut Teh, well, the literal translation would be meat bone tea. There's no other way to explain it, but if you were to Google Bak Kut Teh and translate it to English, you would read out meat bone tea. Now, Bak Kut Teh is a very simple dish. It originated from China in the 90th century from the Fujian province. It is thought to be brought by Chinese immigrants and who arrived in Klang in Malaysia. Now, Now, Bak Kut Teh is made mostly from the cut pork ribs, but usually they use other meats as well. They use simple herbs and spices: cinnamon, wolfberry, fruit, cloves, star anise, and chili garlic sauce, soy sauce, and female ginseng, commonly known as chuan zhong. I can't pronounce. Right, so there are 3 types of common Bak Kut Teh. Not that I've eaten any of them.
You can't eat any of them.
Right. The most common one is the Hokkien Bak Kut Teh, which the gravy is thick. It has more soy sauce because apparently Hokkien people prefer saltier food. We also have the clear soup, popular by the Teochew Bak Kut Teh. It's clear, it's lighter, and it's more soupy than herbal. And in Malaysia, there's also a variant of dry Bak Kut Teh, which is basically the gravy is reduced to almost like a sauce, and the taste is thicker. It's more sharper and tangier. And since we're in Malaysia and it's a Muslim country, they have made chikute for people like me to eat because I can't eat Bak Kut Teh. Okay, it's like, and that.
So we have compared 2 Bak Kut Teh business. The first one is Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurant. It's located in Tanjong Sepat, Kuala Langat. It's in between Banting and Sepang. So the founder is Chia Song Ching. The business is founded in 1999, and it is the first seafood Bak Kut Teh to open in Tanjong Sepat. And it sells seafood Bak Kut Teh and also fish dishes. They get the seafood from Tanjong Sepat as it is the fishing village. Yeah. And it is known as the best seafood Bak Kut Teh in Tanjong Sepat. So as you can see, there's like rusty roof and also the rotten wooden column, but the taste of the food is another story. Mr. Chia, he raised pigs as a living at the first time, but then after that he found that the income is too low to support his family. So after that, in 1999, he opened a Bak Kut Teh business in Kuala Lumpur. But then in 2002, he moved the Bak Kut Teh shop to Tanjong Sepat, and it still remains until now. Thank you.
And then we go to the Aping Bak Kut Teh. This Bak Kut Teh is in SS14, which is known as the Bak Kut Teh Street as well. And its founder, Chong Aping, was inspired by his elder brother, who opened a Bak Kut Teh shop in Klang. And it's currently selling quite well. That's why he was inspired to open this in 1989 after the brother's business is quite successful. And the second shop is opened in SS14, which sells only Bak Kut Teh, Chinese tea, and vegetables. It is also known as the best Bak Kut Teh shop in Subang because of its uniqueness of cooking of Bak Kut Teh. And for the history, it's that before that they ran a store. It's like a hawker center in the local kopitiam selling Bak Kut Teh soup only. And then now they're moving into this current store in 2000. other floor selling Bak Kut Teh soup and the dry Bak Kut Teh.
Alright, so right now we are moving into comparative analysis where we compare the several factors between these two businesses. Okay, let's go. Alright, so who are the competitors of these two websites? First one, Bak Kut Teh SS15, as it's located along what we call Bak Kut Teh Jie, which is on the Bak Kut Teh row, whereas 5 different Bak Kut Teh stores nearly next to each other. It's ridiculous, really. So you have Yuki, Chuan, Bingxiang, Date, and Chuan Chiu Bak Kut Teh. Of these, 3 are good and 2 rubbish. Let's go. Alright, so Yuki Bak Kut Teh, it is perhaps the closest competitor to Aping. One, because it's both attractive pricing, it's decent food, and it is rather popular among locals. Next. Now, Bingxiang Bak Kut Teh, it's bad. But one, it is cheaper, definitely, but the food is terrible, and then locals say it is actually quite disappointing. This is Chuan Chiu Bak Kut Teh. It is also rather closely competitive with the Aping Bak Kut Teh because it has reasonable price, decent food, and it is relatively popular among locals. Personally, my family loves to eat here, so that's an element to it. Now, Chuan Bak Kut Teh, not Chuan Chiu, it's Chuan Bak Kut Teh. It is slightly expensive. It has average food and thus the reception is also average. Finally, we have Date Bak Kut Teh restaurant. It is the most fancy restaurant with air conditioning, nice menus, and all that. However, it is the most disappointing because it's just terrible. It's expensive, it's poor, and then locals hate it. Alright, for Hot Bak Kut Teh, Seafood Bak Kut Teh, which is Tanjung Sepat, there is only one competitor, and it is Yili Seafood Bak Kut Teh. It is an oligopoly because they do not compete. In fact, they all cooperate. That's a bit naughty there. Because they actually set the prices. They cooperate, they say that, okay, let's not go above this price, so the customers have no choice but to go to other options. As you can see here, Yili Bak Kut Teh is affordable, it's average, it's all that. But because they cooperate with our Hot Bak Kut Teh, Seafood Bak Kut Teh, there is not much competition going on. So what are the competition strategies employed by these two companies? First one, competitive pricing. Aping Bak Kut Teh is known to be one of the most value for money Bak Kut Teh restaurants in the Klang Valley. It is cheap and it tastes great. For Ahop Seafood Bak Kut Teh, it is relatively cheap and it tastes great. Thanks. Advertising. I'm very sorry, excuse me. For Ahop Seafood Bak Kut Teh, they have a massive advertising advantage because they are actually featured on the official Tanjung Sepat travel brochure. It's right here. In fact, they also have a massive online presence with bloggers all exclaiming about how great it is, how tasty the Seafood Bak Kut Teh is. For Aping Bak Kut Teh, they do not have any advertising. Rather, they rely on locals spreading through word of mouth about how good it is. They also have a massive online presence with a Facebook group as well as plenty of interviews and reviews online. Signature dishes, as you can see, Ahop Seafood Bak Kut Teh is, they claim they invented the first seafood Bak Kut Teh in Malaysia. I'm not sure if that's true or not, it's impossible to verify. But there is definitely an edge there because this is definitely unique to that area only. There is no seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurant in the Klang Valley. For Aping Bak Kut Teh, they have, even though they serve vanilla Bak Kut Teh, normal without no frills and anything, they have that unique Aping taste. It is not through ingredients, but rather through process. In fact, they said that they can give you a packet of all the ingredients they have, but you'll never be able to replicate what they have. It's rather amazing, really. Alright, next. Finally, we have service. Okay, now you can see a very drastic difference here. Aping Bak Kut Teh is built for speed and efficiency. As it is in Subang Jaya, where everyone is really busy all 100% of the time, and very picky and very particular about getting their money's worth, they depend on service that is very snappy, with great food within minutes of you ordering. The staff is polite, don't get me wrong, but they are perpetually busy. For Ahop, because it's a tiny establishment, they depend more on creating a sense of familial ties with the customer. Because Tanjung Sepat is a rather small town, they rely on people or creating a very good relationship with them. The owner will frequently sit down with you and have a nice conversation about your day and how it's like. Yeah.
So I'll be talking about the similarities and differences between both business. Okay, so in both Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurants and Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurants, they have similarities in 3 categories, which is the first, main product, second, workers, and third, future plans. So both business have features Bak Kut Teh as their main product, and they both only employ local workers. In Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurants, they have 6 local workers, and all of them are part of the family who is managing the business. While in Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurants, although not all of them are part of the family, the cooks are part of the family, while the waiters are employed locally. And for the future plans, both businesses intend to stay as small businesses, as they want to retain the traditional culture, the traditional taste of passing down from generations to generations, so they do not have any intention to open up any new branch anywhere else. So now let's look at the differences. The first is the location. Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurant is located in Tanjung Sepat, Kuala Langat. So it is relatively a quiet and tranquil place, while Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurant is located in Subang Jaya, SS14, a relatively quite fast-paced city as compared to Tanjung Sepat of Ahok Bak Kut Teh restaurant. Okay, so types of products. In Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurants, they do not only supply seafood Bak Kut Teh seafood Bak Kut Teh, but they also feature a variety of seafood dishes like fish, prawns, and fresh products right from the seashore of Tanjung Sepat. But while in Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurants, they feature only authentic traditional Chinese Bak Kut Teh in soup and dry version. They almost do not offer any other dishes, but only Bak Kut Teh and also a few accompanying veggie dishes and Chinese tea. Business operations. Both restaurants have completely different business operating hours, as Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurant opens only from the morning to noon, which is from 7:30 a.m. to 12 noon. So it's considered more of like a brunch, while Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurant caters to the night. They open like from 5 p.m. and to the midnight, so it caters more to a dinner occasion. So target market. Both businesses run specifically to cater for very specific markets. As Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurant is located in an uprising tourist attraction, so it caters mostly to visiting tourists and stuff. While in Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurant, they cater to locals, such as workers, students from nearby colleges and offices, and also families from residential area nearby. Customers. Both businesses differ in the number of customers. In Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurant, they only gain from 50 to 80 customers per day because most of them are only visiting tourists. While in Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurant, they have from 500 customers every night due to the incoming workers, students, families from nearby area, and they can fluctuate to around 800 during the weekend. Content strategy. So both, as I said, both businesses cater to very different markets. So in Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurants, they tend to innovate, they tend to create innovative dishes by combining the specialty, which is the seafood, while in Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurant, they only focuses on their unique taste, focuses on their one and only dry and soup Bak Kut Teh. Okay, so to wrap it up, we can't say which business is better, as both businesses cater to very specific markets. One, which Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurant caters to the visiting tourists, as they have more of a calm and tranquil environment, while Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurant focuses more on speed and efficiency and caters to local workers, local students, and so on. So in terms of revenue and profit income, Aping Bak Kut Teh restaurants have greater profit income compared to Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh restaurant. So our part 2 will be talking about recommendations and how they could improve the business.
Yeah. Okay, so from the point of recommendations, which mean basically our opinion, like after true discussion, like what we think they can do to improve their competitiveness, based on our opinion as students and also as customers. Alright, so for Ahok Seafood Bak Kut Teh, which is, to remind again, the one in Tanjung Sepat, the small scale one, they could improve on their growth because currently they're like stagnant. Like how things are in small towns is that usually these kind of restaurants, they just base there and they don't really expand. But we were thinking they could expand to more branches and probably open small restaurants in other nearby towns, which could definitely increase their sources of profit. Okay, and next they have restricted choices of food, as in like they have very few choices because they have the few traditional dishes that attract regular customer base, which is good in its way. But to attract more customers, they could include like new recipes, like their seafood and bak kut teh mixed together. That's one type of fusion, and they could definitely find new recipes and ways to attract a crowd to their town. So it's also dark and stuffy because it's a small scale restaurant which is literally by the side of the road. It's not air conditioned or it's not closed or anything, so it's rather open air and it's quite dingy in a way. They don't really have proper lighting, so it would be great if they could like cater to the modern era of how restaurants are nowadays, but still maintain its traditional quality of food lah. So yeah, they could install air conditioning, maybe make it a closed restaurant, better lighting, things like that. Okay, so for Aping Bak Kut Teh, which is the one in SS14, they have limited hours of operation, which is only they cater to the dinner market, the dinner crowd. But the thing is that Subang Jaya, we think that the lunch crowd is definitely a major attractive factor. So they could extend their business hours to include lunchtime. Yeah, that would bring more customers. They also have limited choices of food as well, because they only serve bak kut teh and vegetables and Chinese tea, that's all. But like how we have so many foodies and food enthusiasts around KL that are constantly searching for new flavor, and they like to blog about it and it spreads very fast, they could make use of that and like introduce, get together and think of a new kind of fusion or recipe to include in their menu, which could possibly attract better customer base. It's also cramped and hot, like a lot of open air restaurants here in KL, in Subang and all that. The ventilation is not that good because it's rather narrow and the kitchen is right next to the sitting area, and afternoons can get really, really hot and humid. So they could considering maybe expanding to a bigger unit of restaurant, like buying the space next to theirs and making it bigger and installing more fans and making the space larger. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for our recommendations. To wrap it up, our conclusion, both businesses are small scale bak kut teh restaurants. The difference is one is in a small town, one is in urban residential area. That's the difference. They show limited growth potential because they have no current plans to further their business, but they can, and as they retain their traditional qualities and business culture. So they are very much based still on like the traditional way of making bak kut teh and such, and it's passed down from generation to generation. So to expand their growth potential, both businesses should take proactive measures to develop it.